Hey friend, welcome to Pursuing Goals God's Way. Have you thought about finally starting that business now that your kids are older? Do you ever stay awake wondering how to mesh your passions into purposeful work? Do you have big, ambitious goals but feel overwhelmed or even unqualified to pursue them? Hey, I'm Gabe. Not too long ago, I longed for the confidence to start an online business. I just wanted to make a difference outside my home bubble using my gifts. But I kept telling myself that I wasn't good enough. I didn't know enough, and I didn't have enough time. Until I realized something huge. My kids need me to be their example, and they need to see me win. And yours do too. In this podcast, you will learn how to clarify your goals, plan with purpose, and ditch your distractions. If you're ready to make an impact and an income, all for the glory of God, then you're in the right place. As an avid runner, I believe life is one massive marathon. It's up to you to run your own race and to finish it well. So lace up those running shoes, pop in your earbuds, and let's do this thing. Hey friend, welcome to Pursuing Goals God's Way. I am so excited to be back here with you in 2024. Excited for what's going on this year. Now, I know your podcast feed has been blowing up with New Year's resolutions and goals for 2024 and words of the year and all the things. And you'd think since this podcast is all about goal strategy, I'd be talking about it too. Well, I actually didn't start my December break until more mid December. So I took the first couple of weeks off in January as well for creating new content. I found myself in a little bit of an overwhelm from burnout and some life things. So I decided to give myself grace and get back to it when I was feeling energized to do so. If you can't hear it, I have a little bit of a sniffling going on because I'm still overcoming something, but I feel good and ready to talk to you. So I gave myself that grace, and I really hope you give yourself that grace too when you need it. We ourselves are our biggest stumbling blocks sometimes. We give ourselves such a hard time if we're not on 24/7, if we're not producing at light speed. But what is it worth? Overwhelm, stress, a life of hurry, burnout? I'm over that season of life. So, though we'll start talking about all things goals, and I have some really cool things in store for you this quarter, I decided to get back to them slowly without the hurried mindset, without caring if it was going to slow my business or grow it. Funny thing, I stopped releasing episodes for about a month and my podcast still grew. Who knew? It's so funny. And then another funny thing on the topic of growing, I didn't do a word of the year in 2023. I actually kind of rebelled against it. I know, great goals strategist, right? But sometimes I like to do things countercultural. Okay, maybe a lot of the time. So I wasn't planning on having a word for this year either. But a word kept coming up in my reflection time while I was running in my prayer time. And that word is growth. Now, you may right away think business growth. I mean, who doesn't want that? But I see it a bit differently. Last year was a year to really organize myself, get my systems working and aligned with my values and the season I'm in. It was a time of pure work and grind, to be honest. But it set me up to focus on content creation and visibility this year, which in turn can mean growth for my business. So, yes, it means growth for my business, but it goes much deeper than that. I see it as a year of growth in my relationships. I've been wanting to have extra time with my kids, especially my oldest who is nearing graduation, so I can grow as a mom. I can maybe grow and become a more fun mom. Maybe I'll get down on my knees and play Legos. Who knows? But before Christmas, I believe I shared a little bit about how I want to create more of a community with my neighbors and take the time to get to know them and meet their needs and develop those relationships. That's growth. Well, here's a story, and this is kind of what's helping solidify where I want to go with building these relationships. Before Christmas, we made cookies for the local fire department because they're literally down the block. Great place for them if I need them. And then also for our kitty corner neighbors. So the three that are kind of next to us. And we were able to connect with the two, and both of them have a younger. Well, one is about to expect the baby, super exciting. One just had one. So we got them diapers and cookies. And then our across the street neighbors are an older couple, and we've really enjoyed getting to know them. We don't know them all that well since we moved in, but we've been trying to connect when they're outside and we're outside. And we weren't able to connect with them. But my youngest saw them outside and he's like, okay, I'm going to go give them the cookies. So he went out, got to talk to them and things. But we didn't get to talk to them before Christmas when we went to visit our family in Minnesota. So when we came back, it's been on my heart. Just, I want to be more neighborly. I want to really affect things. Well, I came back from a run and I saw some police outside of their house and I was like, what's going on? And what ended up happening is the wife ended up passing. And I was just like so heartbroken. I didn't know that there was anything wrong. I don't think there really was. So it might have been very unexpected. And it was just a really surreal time. And it kind of breaks my heart that I wasn't able to connect before Christmas. And I tell you that because I think sometimes we get caught up in our goals, like in a one track mind or in our business or in our work or whatever it is. And we forget to really live and we forget to really be present. And I want that more than anything. And I'm sure that you do too. And so, really, I want to grow in my relationships in my neighborhood too. So that's kind of the relationship side of the growth. Now, I also want to dive even deeper into the word and learn more about what it means to have God not only lead my life, but also my business. I want to learn how to hold my kids loosely, but still hold on to them. My husband and I are going through a study of Nehemiah together. We study it separately. I'm an early bird, he's a night owl, but it will be an opportunity for us to have good conversation, something we haven't been able to do in a long time when it comes to the spiritual side of things. So that's spiritual growth. I'm really excited about that. So there you have it. That, I guess, is my quote unquote word for the year. It's growth. What are some things that you want to grow in? I know there's probably some places. Maybe it's some personal growth. Maybe it's in business. Maybe it's in relationships or spiritual growth or health goals or health growth, whatever it is. It's a year for growth. But that isn't even what I wanted to talk to you about today. I just kind of went off on a tangent. What I really wanted to talk to you about today is some things that I'm not changing this year. I know the saying, new year, new me, and it can be fun to come up with all these ideas of what changing can do for us. But unless we're willing to actually create a plan and habits around them that actually fit into our lifestyle, we'll just quit on our new me aspirations. So I've decided to not change some things this year. What are those things, you might ask? Well, the first thing is I am not getting back on social media. So I am not going to change that. I took a hiatus last January, not knowing what the experiment would do, but knowing I was tired of trying to use social media to grow my business. I was even tired of using it in life. I wanted to work on tried and true, deep in person relationships. And I'm happy with this change and I'm not going back. That being said, some of you may be like, but you do use Facebook. Yes, I do at times. I have our free Simplicity and Motherhood community on Facebook that I help moderate. So you can come check it out and hang out with us there if you'd like to. And when I'm a speaker in a virtual conference, I'll usually pop into their Facebook group for the event and engage. I am also in a paid SEO mastermind that utilizes a Facebook group. So when I have a question, I do go inside there. So I'm in there on occasion. But what I'm not doing is letting it consume my life. I don't post on my profile. I don't scroll or comment on other people's posts. I link to the specific groups I need to access from time to time. I link them in my project management system. I'm not on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat or any of those things. I even got off Pinterest and kind of loving that change too. So I'm staying off social and loving the extra time I get back and the extra actual personal connection that I am getting. So that's the first thing I'm not changing. Second thing, I'm not changing my mindset that busy is of the devil. Okay, so do you remember the quote I shared a while back from Corey Ten Boom? She said, if Satan can't make you sin, he'll just make you busy. Totally true. So I'm not changing my mind about trying to slow down and really enjoy every moment. To take a day for Sabbath rest so I can refuel my spiritual and physical tanks, to enjoy the one day practicing retirement, I'm not going to change that. I actually need to just keep trying to do better with that. It's good for me and it's good for you too. So if you haven't been slowing down, if you haven't engaged in the slow down series that we did before Christmas, go back and check it out and really look at what places in your life you could slow down a little bit so that you are present. It is really great for us to have a long term vision. It's good for us to see ahead, but then we need to live in the present, right? We need to do the habits and create a lifestyle so that we can live in the moment too. So I'm not changing and going back to busy. Nope, nope. So that's number two. Number three, I'm not changing my messaging. You, my friend, are why I do what I do. It's taken me a while to really understand where I was going and what I was talking about. I had to say yes to God to pivot a few different times, and each time I've gained clarity. This past year, I've really learned more about you, more about what results and transformations I can help with, and more about how I do that. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to serve. I'm ready to put myself out there so that you can thrive. So I am not changing my messaging this year. All right. So there you have it. Three things I am not changing in 2024. I'm not getting back on social media. I'm not going back to a life of hurry, and I'm not changing my messaging. Unless God tells me to change these things, it is not happening. I want to be right where I feel called to, and that's right here. Talking about how to personalize your goals strategy to eliminate the hustle and be within the capacity you have in this very season. Talking about incorporating faith into your business and creating a business strategy that puts God at the head. Being me, helping you to be you. I'm here for that. I hope you are too. In the next weeks, we'll be talking about goal strategy, crafting a plan in a stressless way, building out a business strategy that works. I have a virtual conference coming up in April that you're not going to want to miss. More details to come on that. I'm only going to give you a tiny snippet saying it's coming. I have a lineup of interviews that will inspire you to grow you and get you excited to take the action that you need to take. Let's implement what we're learning this year. Let's grow together. Are you ready? All right, I will catch you next week. I'm excited to be back and I'm excited to be sharing with you. In all things, I pray you just run your race. I believe in you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a great time and I hope you did too. Before we go though, make sure you follow the podcast on your favorite listening platform if you haven't already. If you resonate with this episode, please consider leaving a review on iTunes or share it with a friend as this helps grow the podcast. Also, if you're not a part of Simplicity and Motherhood, consider joining us. It's a free online community built to provide support and encouragement so you can create balance and live intentionally as you go after your biggest goals, God's way. Head on over to redhotmindset.com for more resources and to find the link to join the community. In all things I pray, you just run your race. I believe in you.